school teachers, and this is what comes across, that with very few, you know, a very small percentage of people maintain that creative thrust because somehow they don't, the conditioning doesn't work. But the majority, you know, young people, preschool, are all creative. They learn through play. Then something happens in the first few years of primary school that gradually that's lost, unless they go to a Steiner school, a Montessori school, some of the alternative systems. And in that loss is the problem, because it's exactly what you say. They're being conditioned to become a part of an industrial society where they need to function, they need to have a literacy level, a numeracy level, a certain general knowledge, but they're not being taught to be really creative or encouraged to be creative and not to ask questions. Because if you ask questions, then you start being difficult to manage and control. In a managerialist society where everybody's trying to manage everything, obviously people who are asking questions are not the right kind of people.
The New World Order, they, I call them they because they're not really they're just a collective mass of conscious, corporate people, the corporations that are polluting and everything, that's their conscious, that's the New World Order, it's a game for profit. They have not still attacked in Iran, right? They want to go in there as they're making any excuse to it, because Obama was even, I think, saying there was weapons of mass destruction, he will push it forward to de-arm Iran. That's not. But they want to get in there as now. And why they didn't get in there? Because people are resisting. They know, some people know there's 1.3 million people died in Iraq. They know that more than 4,000 people, Americans, have died, plus 2,000 in the World Trade Center, technically. And they're resisting, they don't want to. And even the corporations realize they don't want to. So because of that second conscious that is occurring, Iran has not been attacked yet. Only because of that financial system. So what's the level?
So you still haven't we heard from the senior regions? Who else would like to contribute something? Moving towards lunch.
Yeah, I just got back from a big travel trip. I was studying over in the Netherlands for 5 months, and I did South America and Southeast Asia. And it was really interesting because that's how I heard about Zeitgeist. A lot of travellers who I met, everyone was talking about it. And I found that really interesting, and then so I downloaded it. I was in Thailand and I downloaded it and watched it in my little hostel, and I was blown away. And I think you can't underestimate just, like word of mouth and doing those local little projects, because the most interesting thing about this film is that, you don't hear about it in mainstream media. And you just think, okay, why? Of course, why fixing all of that stuff, Murdoch, and yeah. So if you just do the local things and word of mouth and keep saying it to your friends, even if they haven't watched the film or whatever, just like little whispers in there. And if you keep, I think if we all keep at it and just don't give up. So why do you think people? Say there's all these people that have been recognised as cultural creatives, but then they don't take that extra step of kind of implementing changes into their daily lives, or maybe they're a little bit resistant to do it. Why do you think that is?
Oh, but they do.
They do?
They do. It's just that what's coming across is that people are doing it, but it's not being reported in mainstream media. And because we get so much of our picture of the world from mainstream media, not being reported because it's not perhaps in the interests of the mass media or the corporate world to acknowledge these grassroots movements, that we have a distorted image. It still seemed to be a kind of a marginal thing. Whereas now there's a State of the World Forum happening in Washington in November this year, and cultural creators is one of the main topics on this forum. and they're going to be making a film and a new book based on more recent research. And Paul Ray's saying that it could be as many as 30% of Americans now are cultural creatives. The whole Obama campaign, which looked at alternative energy and building community and things like that, actually got to some of these people. And they actually voted for the first time in maybe a long time, because they felt. Because part of it is that there's no political party that really represents them. There's not the recognition through media. The corporate world is not interested because they're not going to be big consumers, because it's all about grassroots. It's about growing your own food. It's about community gardens, permaculture, all these sorts of things. So it's actually happening, but we don't have a picture of it happening.